what do you hear from corporate America? This has been my thing, and I love our sport, obviously. And if it blew up to be NASCAR level or say just below, I would benefit from it, from just, more sponsors and more eyeballs and all that. So I would love it. But I'm so skeptical at times because I'm like, look, the late Coy Gibbs, good friend of mine, couldn't find a title sponsor for a long time, and this is Gibbs JGR NASCAR, right? Like M&M's and FedEx and everybody else. And Coy and David Evans would just be like, dude, no one's interested. We offer and we even try to tie it into NASCAR team or whatever. And I'm just like, wow, like I can't believe it. So I'm a bit, we are what we are. We're a niche sport. We all love it. It's been what we're doing in our lives. But what do you hear out there? Like what is, and we have some great partners, don't get me wrong, but what is stopping us from Taco Bell or Verizon or anybody else?
Yeah. I think one of the things is awareness, and we're really focusing a lot on that, building that awareness and reaching out in other places. So we're working on some things with Sport Business Journal as an example, so that we're out reaching marketers where they live, where they're looking for ideas and opportunities. I think for us, it's largely that awareness and how we can reach more people so that when they're making that decision about what they're going to be a part of, we're not picking up the phone and calling someone and explaining what Supercross is. Yeah. No, not X Games. Yeah. No, not this.
Not
no,
Travis Pastrana.
Brian D. Right?
Right.
It's not those things.
Yeah.
And that's coming. And a lot of that comes from the things that we've talked about tonight, right? Like a better television package and program, more people seeing it on television, more things like this. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
podcasts and things out there now for people to tune into, listen to. We leaned into sports betting for this year, right? That was purely about fan engagement, video games, all the things we're doing with kids and STASIC and the KTM Junior program and WMX and all the different ways that we can reach people, get kids on bikes, get more and more people involved. That's how we grow it and get marketers to pay attention to it.
Do you find more awareness, say, in the last couple of years? 2, 3? I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah,
there's way less phone calls of explaining indoor stadium dirt bike racing.
Right.
That's been better, and we have a nice model to follow. So we touched on it a little bit before with the different properties that we have. So Monster Jam, in the last 10 years, Monster Jam has grown exponentially.
Yeah.
And I never have to explain Monster Jam now. Right. I don't have to dissuade all of the thoughts of what Monster Jam is, right? Like
it's not a monster that eats your kids, it's a truck.
Right. And it's not this really weird subset of people at the fairgrounds, right? Like this is everyday blue collar, white collar, moms, dads, the family. That's been a huge thing for Monster Jam. SMX is a couple years behind it, but coming quickly, right? Yeah. Again, and it comes back to television package and all these different things we've talked about. Really, the 31 races, that platform, that is what's really helping propel it.
One of the things I hear from teams is obviously, we're all in this together, but we're also all in this for ourselves in a sense of the series and teams and sponsorship and everything else. And there's been more than a few grumbles over the years about teams and Feld either poaching a sponsor or not letting them, set up. You guys do give the teams a footprint in the pits, and you can do what you want in your footprint, but you can't do this or you can't do that or whatever. And some of it makes sense, like, hey, don't give stickers out because they're going to stick them all over the stadium that you're at, right? So and all that stuff like that makes sense. Yep. Those rules loosening up, those things you're dealing with a little bit. Are you guys trying to amend that and help a little bit? How does that go when there's sort of a little competition going on between teams and the series?
Yeah, it used to be a lot more competition. I'd say it's a lot more synergy these days. Okay. We're working more with the athletes, with their agents. We put some deals together collectively between the two, between the pair.
SMX jerseys, right? We got SMX jerseys going on.
Yeah, the Insta360 deal was us and the Lawrences. We're the things we're doing with the Lawrence experience.
Yep.
Lot more partnership there. And then again, now we're also not competing Supercross, motocross, the teams, the athletes. Like there's a lot of hands in the pot. I'm a firm believer in, especially if we're welcoming in a new partner. So especially if they're non-endemic, there's a lot of things that we as the series and championship can do. There's a lot of things that athletes can do that we can't offer, right? So the best way to do it is combined, right? Yeah. So that's what gives a sponsor a true kind of 360 look at the sport, because again, all those different offerings, whether it's hospitality, whether it's rider endorsement, whatever it might be, we're better together for sure. Yep. So we're really doing a good job in leaning into that and working hard to be inclusive with one another.
VIP stuff that you guys have been doing, pushing that over the years. I don't like all of it, but obviously, like you mentioned, the Lawrence's family, the track walks, things like that, right? You guys are selling these experiences, and it's no different than, man, my wife and I go to a lot of concerts, and like every artist that you sign up for, you can do like 3 different packages. Photo, meet and greet, lanyard, you know what I mean? It's not just Supercross. It is it's a thing now everywhere. People want to spend money to get better access. This is a thing. You guys have jumped on board. How is that? How's that going? What's that been like?
It's going really well, and you're exactly right. This isn't something that we just came up with in a boardroom. We put our ear to the ground and listen, and what are other sports doing? What's successful? What are the fans looking for? Fans are looking for more immersive experiences. They want to get closer. They want to have unique experiences. They want to post things on Instagram that are cool and make their friends jealous.
And also, there's a subset of people that have money.
That's right.
They want access. Yeah.
Yep. And they're right. They're willing to pay for that access.
Yeah.
And they're willing to pay for closer parking, better food, closer restrooms, whatever it might be.
Yeah. Hanging out with Truman.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I think that's a big value.
That's right in the top selling point.
Hey Dan, I need to hide a dead body. Can you get me? Yeah, no problem. I got you.
I got a guy.
I got a guy. Dan's got a guy. Love Dan, one of my best friends. But So that's been good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really good. And again, and that ties over into partnerships, right? So we're also looking at what are marketers looking for. A lot of times they're looking to be able to offer that maybe money can't buy type experience for whoever it may be, their sales force or hosting whoever their clients are.
Yeah.
So the ability to tie those two things together, or they're looking for something that's turnkey for them that we're already maybe looking at doing. We can put their name on it, bring them into it, integrate their product into it, whatever it might be. So again, all things really working together.
Do we have anything that we can talk about for 26? It's exciting and
I was really hoping I was going to have some nice big things to break.
Okay.
I can tell you that everything we're talking about here is, I hope in the next couple of weeks you'll start seeing some things like some really big brands rolling into the sport in some spaces that we haven't been in.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, again, I don't want to be too coy about it, but I sell sponsorships, and so until it's signed, sealed, delivered, I'm a pessimist about it.
As a rider, I know that feeling.
Right,
it's like you do not tell nobody until it's done.
That's right.
Yeah. And Mike, for you, obviously you guys are brothers. For people who don't know, Mike and Dave Mewey, are you? You're removed. You're the director of operations. You're involved in the event and setting up the event and tracks and how that race runs. But do you have anything to do with this end? I don't know.
So Dave's team and our team work pretty closely. After sponsorship is sold, his team, he has a activation team that puts on
whatever
so then was
now
agreed
it's like,
to.
Hey, where do we go in the building and how do we do this?
I mean, everything from banner placement to fan fest location to what's going to play on the Diamond Vision. That's where our team gets involved.
Okay, all right, yeah.
He said it really nice. I mean, it comes down like I make money and he spends it.
Yeah, there we go.
No, all kidding aside, we promise a lot of things.
I like my side of it better.
Yeah.
So does everybody else.
Yeah. We promise a lot of things. We come up with ideas that maybe are out of the box forever, and then these guys have to figure it out, right? Like they make it happen. They make us look good. They really do some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
It is fun too, right? Like because in the process of them selling a sponsorship, we'll talk about, I'll say, hey, we got X partner that, this is what they're after. Right.
Can we do it?
We'll think it might be an opening ceremonies idea or a unique element on the track or some type of cool activation out in the pits, right?
We've been trying to get some bands involved too, I see a little bit, right?
So we did a deal this year with Ghost Hounds.
Yeah,
that was
Ghost
a new
Hounds,
thing for us, right? They did a concert in Pittsburgh, which is super cool.
Right.
We integrated, and again, back to just that integration, ability to tie things in because we're all working together.
Yep.
So if you watched the broadcast, you saw bump in and out of commercials, right? We'd play Ghost Hound songs, promote their new album.
It was a lot, trust me. It was a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it.
I'm glad you liked it.
Brought by Race Tech, by the way. I know about that, so trust me. But,
Steve just misses the wiener dog race.
Oh, that's good, wasn't it?
Dude, I dropped the gate on one. Did Prater let me do that? How did I do that? Gendro? No, it would have been Prater.
Probably Prater.
I don't remember who arranged that, but I dropped the gate at San Francisco.
That's
the
your
wieners.
redemption for the Tim Ferry thing.
Yeah, for the opening ceremonies. Yeah, that was Nick Way. It was Nick Way.
Oh, Nick
Yeah,
Way.
I was in control of all those wieners.
Yeah, it was amazing, dude. Because I like Basset Hounds and wiener dogs aren't far from that, so it was amazing. Yeah, the wiener dog race was great.
Oh, it's fantastic,
dude. Some of those people were really serious though.
Yeah.
Like those owners were.
Well, it's like youth sports, right? It's the same.
I got the best wiener. Dude, it was gnarly. What could you bring back? What would you like to bring back? Speaking of that, like Wiener Schnitzel was involved, right, with JGR and then Wiener Dog. What would you like to bring back? What was a good one for you? Or
I mean, we've had a lot of good ones. I started my career on Speed Stick.
Right? Oh, yeah, so, Speed Stick,
yeah, we had 28,000 Speed Stick samples. They're about yay big. Like, they were the little travel size.
Yeah.
And that was my first job, was to figure out how we'd get those distributed out to fans at the end of the night.
Yeah.
We got some laundry bins, and I'd get, like, the Christian Motorcycle Association to, like, wheel these bins out, pass them out. It was a whole thing.
I honestly didn't know that, because shortly after that, I did the Butterfingers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Butterfinger
all the Butterfingers. Everybody.
We had a Butterfinger hole shot.
Yeah. Butterfinger hole shot, So, those sampling programs are always a really good time.
Yeah.
The fan activation stuff, like, during the race, I think, is awesome. I went to a Savannah Bananas game with my
they're
neighbors.
doing it right.
Very good.
Dude, how they get the crowd involved at their games is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was so, like, I'm 30 years old. I'm there with my neighbors who are also 30 years old. And, like, we were dying laughing the whole time into the game. Like, I don't like baseball at all, but it was so much fun. And I think that's something that's lacking at our races is, like, we do the wave. But, like, other than that, like, how are you incorporating the fans during that's something I think.
Yeah,
cool.
you know who else does really good? NHL.
Yeah.
If you've gone to any NHL
Canadians,
games,
dude.
they're very
good.
Tampa Lightning.
So Monster's back for SMX.
Yeah.
They weren't there for a couple of years. I guess take us through that a little bit. They're going to be the long-term partner for SMX Series.
Yeah,
and, of course, Supercross.
Yeah, we've worked with Monster for 18 years now.
Yeah.
Been a title of Supercross for most of that. They were early adopters of SMX. It gets a little bit lost in exactly how that went down, so I'll kind of give you the brief version. Always been, or not always, for a very long time, the title of Supercross. And the official energy drink of motocross.
Yep.
When we decided to do the playoffs, they signed on, and they're in the fueled by position, so presented by. So it's the SMX World Championship playoffs, fueled by Monster. They are now going to be, it's now Monster Energy Super Motocross World Championship. So that's the difference, right? So they are now the title. Over the all 31. So that's been the biggest difference. That'll take us through 2030. So first time we've ever put a partner across the actual World Championship in 2 years.
And same as Supercross 2030, or is that the different deal?
Yeah,
okay,
it's
so
a whole
both.
deal.
Yep.
So the deal looks like title Supercross, title of the SMX World Championship, official energy drink of Pro Motocross. That's generally how it lays out.
Right.
And they'll do all the great cool things. Like a partner like Monster is a dream, right? Like they bring fantastic activations that help enhance and entertain the fans. They pass out beverages. They, we've done some concert stuff with them. All of those kind of things. And we're hoping and leaning into them on, again, just back to promoting and making the sport bigger. How do we work with them more on some of their point of sale stuff that's at retail? How do we get on a can? How do we do some of these other things that just help?
Sure.
They're
a motocross company,
doing.
right?
Yeah.
They're a motocross company. That's how they started. Like Oakley, or you know what I mean? Like they got their roots are there.
Yep.
That's interesting. That's interesting for the sport for that. I mean, again, like just me being the cynic, I'd like to see, Verizon there or somebody like that. But, I mean, listen, the energy drinks are fine and all that. But, yeah, I'd love to see I don't know how we do it. I don't quite know. I've talked to David Evans. I've talked to Sip Kovic. I've had conversations with some really smart people about why don't we do this. And it's like, well, okay, the bikes are small. You don't see logos. The jerseys are filled. Sometimes Fox wants their logo here. Never mind what your outside sponsor is, team-wise. And then you guys and all of that. I just love to see more of it. I don't know why because when I watch IndyCar, we beat them in ratings, generally speaking, IndyCar. I don't know if the athletes make more money, maybe at the top end. And I think we're bigger than IndyCar. And then I watch IndyCar and I'm like, okay, a lot of Fortune 500 companies in there. Why aren't they coming with us? That's all.
I think it goes back to what I said before, right? If you say Indy, you're automatically Indianapolis Motor Speedway, been racing there forever, right? Yeah, Indy open wheel racing. We're still in that niche space, right? So how do we expand beyond that? How do we get to where when a marketer is making their decision, when the folks at Verizon are deciding what they're going to do, and the NFL, the MLB, IndyCar, F1, whoever's in their decision set, how do we get into that? And not just get lucky and happen to call them that day when they're making their budgeting decisions, which has historically been the way, right? Like you hope you catch the right person on the right day,
or their kids into moto or something or whatever.
Exactly, and there is some of that, of course, still, right? So how do we get into that consideration set 365, right? Like how are we constantly? How is there a drumbeat? Having 31 unified races helps. A good television program helps.
And also having Jet Lords at Hayden Deegan, right?
Having world
we now have guys that attract attention.
Absolutely.
I don't really like all the things Hayden does and says, but you cannot deny that they have brought new fans to the sport. You know, and Jet Lawrence, of course, is a phenom, right, and worldwide known. So yeah,
and then. Right, so we plug that into the machine, into the television, into a unified story across 31 races in 9 months, as opposed to we talk about them and it goes away. That storyline kind of dies off, and then MX Sports would pick it up and run with it.
No, it's so much better that way.
That's the difference.
Yeah, a lot more to talk about here. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. How much easier is your life, Dave, without Kenny Watson around and the B2B?
He wasn't really a pain. He was more of a pain in their
Mike,
ass.
I still talk to Kenny.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Yeah.
But how about when you guys are like, Kenny, you can't put the Dodge truck there, and he put it on the lift gate and lifted it up 3 feet.
Yep.
Yeah, that's him. I just kind of walked like this.
The fantastic stories Watson would tell me about battling you guys.
It was different.
It is, and it's tough, right? Like we understand it's a very delicate ecosystem. The teams have to survive out there. It's something we talk about all the time. Mayhem, Prater, we're always talking about how can we do right by the teams and make sure they can survive and thrive. At the same time, while we sell sponsorships and try and bring in some of these big partners and explain to them why are these teams and what are they doing.
Right. I mean, look, again, I don't want to come across – it's better than it used to be. I feel like anyways, from my end of things, Yeah. Drive to Survive, obviously lots of talk about that. I think we need it, but then, we might have missed it a little bit because I kind of hear that stuff isn't doing great at Netflix, and they canceled the tennis one, I think, or they canceled one of them. But we could use it. We had Supercross Spy, of course, from the Red Bull guys for a while. But any ideas on that? Anything planned for that?
Yeah, so
we want to do that.
We talk about it all the time. Myself and Steve Yaros, our president, and Prater have. We're on a quest for quite some time, and we had some really great buy-in from some really smart people that wanted to make it. Finding the right home for it, the right partnerships for it, the right how's it going to look, how's it going to feel, is a challenge because the market's super saturated.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing one. Drive to Survive was this lightning in a bottle that was nothing. COVID hit just at the right time. It got picked up, watched, became this international phenomenon. Trying to recapture that lightning in a bottle has been really tough for all these other ones that are out there. Some of them are, big budget, funded by the organizations. Yeah. And it's a lot of money to throw at something that is, doing okay.
Yep. Yeah. So, just hard. Like not you haven't stopped trying, but
we're
just wait and see, right?
Yeah, constantly out there trying.
Well, my buddy Sam Jones there did a terrific documentary on RC, right? And he sold Tony Hawk doc to HBO, and he's tight with the Apple guys. He's got this doc. I watched it. It's phenomenal. Home footage, and it's the best athlete you've never known is the title, Ricky Carmichael, and he can't find a home for it because of the saturation and.
Yeah, there's a lot of players out there too, right? Like where does it go?
He's been trying to shop it, and I'm like, dude, this thing's amazing.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
Yeah,
so bad.
I'm not into skateboarding. I watched his Tony Hawk one, and I loved it. I'm like, dude, this is amazing. Tony Hawk seemed like
and we know that we'll have absolutely phenomenal content, right? Because of the superstars we just talked about that we have, because of the dedication it takes to get to our sport, because of the privateer stories, because of all of these things, like. It will be absolutely phenomenal watch.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You just got to figure out how to do it.